Who is Cyraxx? Cyraxx is not just an internet character, he's a living embodiment of the bizarre and often chaotic nature of online culture. Known for his unique persona, viral moments, and the controversies that surround him, Cyraxx has become a symbol of the unpredictable nature of digital fame. But what lies beneath the surface? What stories, legends, and hidden truths lurk in the depths of his online presence? In this first part of our three-part exploration, we'll peel back the layers of the Cyraxx Iceberg. We'll examine his rise to fame and the controversies that have fueled his notoriety. We'll try to cover everything in chronological order in this three-part series to give you a complete timeline of the Cyraxx lore, from his early days in social media to the moments that made him what he is right now. Not many people know this about Cyraxx, but he was actually born Patrick Smith on September 20th, 1990. Because of genetic defects and wild screaming videos, he has also been famously known as the Goblin of Akron, Ohio. His parents were Rupert Smith and Connie Lobdell. He was born very prematurely after only 16 weeks of gestation. As a result, he had a severely underdeveloped body and was bullied in school. Cyraxx grew up with his grandmother Sally because his father Rupert was actually arrested for assaulting a 14-year-old girl when Cyraxx couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 years old. Since his mother Connie had ADHD, she was deemed unfit to take care of Chance, and hence, she was handed over to Sally. You see, Cyraxx is actually the third generation of child in his family. His father was a child and his grandfather, William D. Smith, married his grandmother Sally when she was only a teenager, who became pregnant with Rupert when she was 14. When Cyraxx came to live with Sally, she was married to Gordon Wilkins. So, Sally changed his name from Patrick Smith to Chance Wilkins, because according to her, he was getting a second chance at life. However, Cyraxx's relationship with Sally wasn't great either.
I know a lot more than you I protect this goddamn family from the bad, which is more than what anybody else does. Oh, yes, it does. I do a lot of fucking for you fucking. So what? I still do something. I keep these on fucking back. Story. What?
In 2012, police were called to his house for abusing Sally. Although why he abused Sally is uncertain, his followers believe he physically assaulted Sally because she refused to drive him to Kansas to see his then-girlfriend, who was very obviously a troll. According to Cyraxx, he had a very rough time at school. In his recollection, people used to bully him and make fun of him because of his looks.
I was supposed to die the day that I was born. And when I was born with 1 kidney and 1.5 lungs. And, growing up through school, I did get picked on. I got bullied way more than most. I got judged. I got beat up every day. I was that kid that was an outcast in high school.
However, as you will realize once we go deeper into the video, Cyraxx isn't always a very reliable narrator. He is famously known for twisting stories and making himself look good at the end of it. A good example of this is what he did to his high school friend, also particularly known as the blind Billy in the Cyraxx lore. We'll go into more detail about this incident later in the video as we pivot towards more serious controversies and lies surrounding Cyraxx. But for now, all we know is Cyraxx told his fans that he was a very brilliant student and that his GPA was actually only a few points short of 4. And despite this, the school didn't let him graduate because he was too ugly to graduate. Another incident that he recalls from his school time is when he was bullied so severely that a bunch of students pushed him down from a school balcony. However, this too appears to be a lie as explained by his aunt in an interview she once gave.
It was lunchtime, and these kids dared him that he couldn't jump something from the balcony.
The backflip. Okay, hold on. I had a question about this. After certain head injuries, like, people fucking have dramatic personality changes at times. Do you feel like after the fucking head injury, like...
What head injury? He didn't hit his head.
He smacked his head off he was like on the second floor when he did the backflip. It was like off the second floor.
He didn't hit his head. He landed on his side and broke his arm.
Turned out, he was never pushed from the balcony. He made it up that lie to cover up the truth that he was actually dared to jump. He also lied to the police and school administration about this incident, blaming other students for bullying him. So when the truth finally came out, the school had no choice but to expel him, and his below 1 GPA didn't help either. Cyraxx created his first YouTube channel in 2009 called DJ Shadowblade. In the beginning, he uploaded short music videos, anime montages, and videos of him doing various activities like drumming and skateboarding. Around 2012, Cyraxx got signed on by the music label Killer Clown Sounds, run by Eric Scribolo, out of sympathy. However, Cyraxx was soon fired from the record label after he stole Scribolo's music and pseudonyms. Cyraxx later released an apology video for Eric with his then-girlfriend, Heather.
I know you're pretty upset about the whole dog tag thing and whatnot. Well, when we did the whole thing with the dog tags, it's because we were pissed off. We didn't know what the hell to do. We were seriously just, we were only doing like my mom wanted us to do. She came up with the idea to throw him into the lake, and at the time it seemed like a good idea. And honestly, we regret it, man.
Yeah, big time.
And this was not the first or the only time he did it. He is actually very well known for stealing songs and putting his name on them. In fact, he stooped as low as stealing a poem written by a 9-year-old assault victim and making a song out of it.
From a real-life rape victim about being raped when she was 9 years old, and he tried to turn it into a song. It's on William Gloryhole's channel. You gotta see it. I can't believe... I mean, just when you think Cyraxx couldn't get any lower.
And if that's not enough, here is a complete list of all the songs he openly stole from other artists. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room, the goblin scream. For those of you who don't know, Cyraxx is very famously known for his attempt to break Chester Bennington's record of the longest scream. Chance's record at the time was an 18-second scream compared to Chester Bennington's 17-second scream in Linkin Park's Given Up. When Cyraxx created his first YouTube channel called DJ Shadowblade, which he by the way pronounced in a variety of different ways, he was no more than 18 or 19 years old. However, his war cry came much later in 2012, when he was a whopping 22-year-old guy. It was also during this age that he assaulted his grandmother Sally. Given his age and his antics, people started noticing a pattern of some really degenerate behavior, which was not easy to ignore. As we mentioned previously, Cyraxx always wanted to be a musician, and the funny part is that he actually thought he had it in him to make it big in music with his goblin war cry. He used to think that he was already in the music grind, particularly in the Juggalo scene as early as 2012. One of his earliest uploads on YouTube that is still up on the internet is him complaining about how strict and rule-oriented the Juggalo community was. However, the truth was that Cyraxx only feigned to be a Juggalo. He only wanted to be a part of the community and find friends, while in reality, he didn't have any idea about what the Juggalo community was. This was eventually proven true when Juggalos decided to quiz him on his ICP knowledge, which Cyraxx obviously failed since he never listened to ICP or any music related to Juggalos.
I was just curious, what was your first album that you got into the clowns?
Believe it or not, dude, Probably, I'm trying to think. I want to say either Juggalo Brothers or Riddle Box. I can't remember which one it was that got me in.
So what did the cover look like?
Really, dude? Do you know how many fucking years it's been since I've listened to that shit?
Even after this, he was adamant about convincing everyone that he was part of the family. In early 2012, he made a post that heavily implied he either already was or wanted to be involved with a girl named Hannah. He wrote in this post, "I'm trying so hard not to break down right now because the one girl I really and truly love is telling me to be with someone else when I honestly love her, Hannah Farrell. I love you, I really do." He also said in this post that this girl called Hannah was the reason why he didn't unalive himself the night prior. However, it seems like things didn't really work out with this girl he loved so much, because only a few months later, he only started dating, but he was also apparently engaged with a new girl named Heather. Now, if you have even remotely followed Cyraxx during all these years, you probably know Heather. But for those of you who don't, she plays kind of a prominent role in Cyraxx's story. And by being prominent, we mean that she's just there, lurking behind or by Cyraxx's side in almost all of the videos from this time.
What the drip for beats? Oh, she's back here. On here. Yes.
Hey,
Can we talk about this, please? I'm sick. I've been to the doctor and found out I had the don't say fluid. No, I'm not saying I'm pregnant. Don't say I'm pregnant.
hey, Jamie, Jamie, let me ask Jamie, let me ask you something, Jamie. Why the frick you sitting there desecrating our GoFundMe page? What the fuck?
His mother did it. That's to cover court fees.
Listen, Heather.
Why should we listen? All you do is
Hold on, let her talk. If y'all have some questions, if y'all want me to ask her, I'll ask her.
yeah.
Heather actually considered herself a part of the Juggalo community too. She was very into music herself and worked with Cyraxx under the musical name Shadowcat Hatchelette. However, music wasn't the only artistic venue of Cyraxx. In late 2012, he actually announced to his fans that he was working on a manga series called Spectrobes, which would be released in early or mid-2013. However, to nobody's surprise, it never happened. Before Heather, Chance's first real girlfriend, Abby, only spoke to him online over FaceTime, and while not much is known about her, photos show that she had a hook for a hand as a result of a failed by train. She broke up with him when his Facebook account was hacked, and it was revealed that he had been cheating on her. After that came Heather, who met Chance a lot more than Abby, and also moved in with him after getting out of her lesbian relationship and leaving her children behind. Heather's first online appearance was when Cyraxx announced that he would be abandoning the Juggalo lifestyle.
We'll still be underground till the day we die, but the Juggalo lifestyle, we tried to live it and we just found out that it's not for us. So those of you that still want to be cool with us and back us up,
As time progressed, Cyraxx only became more and more erratic. Remember when we said we would get into the Blind Billy story later? Now is the perfect time to bring that up, since this was the time when Chance's lies started becoming really out of hand. Billy Syler, one of Cyraxx's friends in high school, was a legend blind student called Billy. Cyraxx was actually the closest to him. They would often hang out after school and talk about music. Billy also introduced Chance to his favorite band, Linkin Park. Chance brought up Billy spontaneously in a video once, saying that he was assaulted by his high school friend when he was about 16 or 17.
16 to 17 years old, around that time period, I was actually by one of my best friends from high school. Now at the time, I didn't know that he was gay. I had actually met this kid, his name was Billy Syler. We had gone to the same high school together, and me and him grew really close. We were super cool with each other.
This intrigued his followers, and hence they began investigating. Turns out that what Chance said was not even close to the truth. The suspicion became stronger when in another video, Chance mentioned how his family approached the school about this incident, and in response, they kicked him out of the school instead of the other way around.
They know what Billy did. That's why they removed me from that school, so it didn't happen to me again.
For starters, the dates didn't add up. Cyraxx said that he was 16 or 17 when this happened, but he didn't change schools until 2009 when he was 19 years old. So something was definitely wrong with Cyraxx's version of the story. He later addressed this and changed his statement by saying it was not him who was underage, but Billy. By this time, Cyraxx's trolls and followers alike were invested. The information provided by him was enough to track Billy's Facebook and contact him, and once Billy was contacted, the entire truth about Cyraxx's horrible lie came to the limelight.
What the, he took me as being gay when I clearly wasn't. And I had told him this, and I guess he was trying to, force that on me by doing,
so we were up in my room, it was late at night, probably 12, 1 o'clock on a weekday. When it gets hot, guys tend to take off their shirts and everything. I was either on my belly on the floor, or I think I was searching for something, and the next thing I know, and at this point, I had never given any type of consent whatsoever.
This was enough for his followers to believe it was not Cyraxx who got assaulted, but the other way around. As we go further into Chance's story, you will realize that his actions are becoming more and more disturbing. For starters, he was engaging with a lot of keyboard warriors and getting into random beefs. This was the first red flag of his truly erratic nature and some really nasty feuds that were about to come. For instance, look at this early 2013 video of him in which he's addressing someone who apparently insulted his friend.
Talking all this crap and shit. This guy seems to think I'm hiding behind words, but I'm not. You hear that, Aaron? I'm not hiding behind anything, little man. You want a little man? Look at you. You're nothing but a punk-ass baby, hiding behind his own words, who's too afraid to stand up to me like a real man.
Now, anyone who is decent enough would know that there is no greater way to waste your time than interacting with trolls. However, this obviously is very hard to explain to Cyraxx. So, instead of ignoring these trolls, Chance took this as an opportunity to act like he was in a WWE ring. He would act like he was the toughest guy around who would beat everyone's butts. This is definitely something that aggravated with time to the point where the entire point of Cyraxx's channel was empty threats and random beef with everyone. In 2017, he uploaded a hilariously viral video where he was shadowboxing himself.
Wait, what? Dude, who are you? Who are you? I asked you first. Oh, let's fight. Come on.
He also uploaded a video during this time accusing someone called Chuck Stigl of hacking into his emails since 2008. According to Cyraxx, this guy named Chuck has been impersonating him, so he made a video threatening Chuck as he would do with pretty much any troll. But there's a pattern here that gives us an insight into what made Cyraxx what he is today. In the beginning, his content used to be a little bit mellow. He focused on his music and aspirations. However, things started taking a really dark turn with him, engaging in all these fights, pushing himself further into a place of hatred. If you've been following Cyraxx or know anything about him, you'll probably be aware of his arch nemesis Marty. Now, if you don't know, Marty is known as Cyraxx's biggest troll. Playing on Cyraxx's desperation to be hired by a record label, Marty created two fake competing labels, Ram Ranch Records and Bender Boys, and pitted them in a bidding war for a contract with Cyraxx. Eventually, Bender Boys won the contract and Cyraxx celebrated his new career in one of the now most well-known videos.
I figured I'd come in, celebrate, kick it, chill. Got a brand new dope-ass track dropping with some of the homies. Like the big homie George. What's goody, what's goody, what's goody?
As you can clearly see, he was ecstatic, dreaming about all the riches and fame waiting ahead, not knowing what was about to come. Things took a nasty turn when Bender Boys announced that Cyraxx's album produced disappointing returns, and they decided to sell his contract to their main competitor, Ram Ranch Records. And this made Cyraxx explode, quite literally.
Yo, Cyraxx. I got an announcement to make.
What's up, dude?
Well, the video's not doing as well as we thought it was going to.
Yeah.
And, speaking with the team here at Bender Boys Records, they deemed you unmanageable.
How?
And then, we had to sell your contract, man.
Wait, what the serious right? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Are you? No, dude.
We sold
You're
it this
not,
morning.
Are you right now? Serious right now?
Yeah, the video didn't perform as well as we thought it was going
What
to.
the fuck, dude? Are you putting all the serious? I put in all that hard work for nothing? Are you serious right now?
Well, we
serious?
sold the contract.
Bro, you're being stupid. You're stupid, man. What the? I put in all that hard work for you and the crew for what? What the, man?
Well, we sold your contract.
Ever since this, Marty became Cyraxx's arch nemesis and main troll. However, at this point, the amount of trolls and followers was growing very rapidly. As they grew, things started becoming way worse thanks to Cyraxx's aggressive, combative attitude combined with his lack of consideration other than for himself. Cyraxx would often engage in long shouting matches with trolls. This rage also led to the infamous baseball incident. An internet troll called Aware of Myself began protesting outside of Cyraxx's house for being a child when Cyraxx charged at him with a baseball bat, only to be overpowered by the troll. The whole incident was recorded by the troll, still living rent-free in our minds. There were many instances where he exhibited rage, mostly in the form of empty threats. A common aspect of his rages includes him shouting various racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic slurs. While his goblin rage and death threats went extremely viral, he was actually a very cowardly person crying for his mother during an actual fight with Marty.
Get the who's the king? You are? Then run away now. Shut the fine. You win. You win. You win. Please let it go. I'm begging you. Please. Get up.
The very example of this was when he threatened Marty to beat him up. However, when Marty told Cyraxx that he was on his way to Akron to confront him, Cyraxx did a whole 180-degree flip and started convincing him to sort it out on livestream instead. And when Marty finally arrived, Cyraxx remained hidden inside the house while he sent his grandparents to meet Marty instead of facing him himself. However, all of this is barely scratching the surface. This was just the beginning of something truly disturbing. For instance, murder threats, physical assaults, and whatnot. This brings us to the end of part 1 of Cyraxx Iceberg. We will cover more about these aforementioned incidents in the next part. If you've stayed this far into the video, don't forget to leave a comment down below and stay tuned for the second part, since we'll be covering some of the most serious aspects of Cyraxx's story in the next video.